Hello everybody, welcome to Darkslayer TV. My name is of course Darkslayer, and I am bringing you some more StarCraft 2 action. Now you might be thinking to yourself, Darkslayer, you literally just uploaded a video yesterday that said you weren't going to be uploading videos. What are you doing to me? Like, I'm getting whiplash. Well, I decided I was going to go and do a bunch of research on OBS, and I have what I think is going to be the best settings. So maybe this will work. We'll see. I hope the video, I hope it looks good. If it does, it'll be online right now. If it doesn't, well, I'm talking to myself. But anyways, on this map that I forget the name of, I think it's Ulina or something like that. On the bottom left, we have our red Protoss banner. And spawning up here at the top left as our blue squiggly Zerg, AoEFreak. So this is going to be a platinum level game coming in from our blue Zerg and red Protoss. And to be quite frank, I am not hugely familiar with the strategies on this map. I do know that we get some crazy strategies with these really narrow pathways that give you the really quick access to your opponent's base. And I know there's kind of craziness that goes on with stuff like that, but other than that, I would imagine we're going to see pretty standard compositions on this map. Things like Roach, Ravager, things like, Sentries, Stalkers with Disruptors, things of that nature. I don't think we're going to be seeing anything too crazy. I know that air can be sometimes good on this map since you've got that really short distance to your opponent's base with things like Mutalisks and Warp Prisms. So we could be seeing things like that. Not 100% sure. We do have a Zealot here who needs to get over here so he can block the wall, but unfortunately he is not going to. He is off right now as Bob does not want to block that wall. So pretty standard so far. I'd say the only thing that's worth noting is that AoEFreak did go ahead and take this third base location. He's going to go straight for that economy as quickly as he can, and I don't think we're going to see much aggression from him as we don't even have speed yet. He's still getting that gas. So eventually we'll get it, but not anytime soon. So the Protoss doesn't have to worry about too much aggression. However, AoEFreak might have to be a little concerned as an adept has entered the field. Now whether or not AoEFreak does want to use this for aggression or not is still in the air, but hold that thought. Did I see what I think I saw? Oh, I saw what I think I saw. We have a Dark Shrine on the way. Bannor are going to be going for those Dark Templar to do as much aggression to the Blue Zerg as quickly as possible. And quite frankly, when you go for these two early hatches, it might do some damage as, yeah, you need the lair for Overseers. Yes, you do. You need the lair for Overseers. And I don't know if that is on AoEFreak's mind to go straight for lair, if we're going to see a Roach Warren first. Maybe even some evolution chambers before that lair. We're going to have to find out. But for his sake, I hope he gets that lair very soon. And my health bars are still turned off. How does this happen? We're going to do this live. See this? We're making adjustments on air. Where is it at? Gameplay. Oh, show those life bars. Always. Oh, show that flare help. Always. Oh, there we go. You see that? Now we can see what's happening. Alright, Protoss is taking their natural expansion. I'm not sure how they plan on defending it. Have they scouted anything? No, they haven't. That is a risky natural expansion when you have not scouted the third base and you have nothing to defend with. That is risky as all hell, but you know what? He's going for it, and he might be able to just do it, as our Zerg player can't really punish it. You might be able to get some Lings up there to start attacking the Nexus if he sends them now, but I don't think he's going to. Ooh, Spine Crawlers at the front, and Spore Crawlers are being placed into the mineral lines, as I just realized an Overlord did scout this DT Shrine, so AoEFreak should be safe from those Dark Templar as long as they don't AoE, I didn't mean to say that, as long as they don't immediately destroy these spore crawlers, he should be fine. We do have the 3 Dark Templar making their way across the map, but are they separated? No, they're going to go in as one giant clump and start attacking all these Zerglings, and he's smart. He knows he shouldn't be going up that ramp right now, and he's actually going to bring the Dark Templar home instead of risking those by sending those into the natural. So good call. However, warping in 2 more I'm not sure was the smartest idea. Doing things like this, it's best to send a Dark Templar here, Dark Templar here, and a Dark Templar here with a possible even drop instead of sending them straight up this natural ramp. But you know, he has them, and it's going to work as a pretty good defense against things like these Zerglings, considering there is not an Overseer coming along with them. And will he be able to do some damage here? He does start making his way in here, and he's going to immediately start taking out that Adept and Zealot. But no, he decides to leave as those Dark Templars are there. He's going to try to send them into the main now, but a warp in of 2 Dark Templar are going to keep those Lings from getting in. So well defended there by Bannor. AoEFreak not quite capable of getting those Zerglings in there. And this Overlord still just chilling here, getting all the scouting information it needs. Bannor not really dealing with it. Our Zerg player finally taking up to that lair, and it has finished. What tech are we going to see? Is it going to be mass Hydralisks? Is it going to be Mutalisk? Well, with the composition of the roaches that he has, and no Evo chambers? Well, the Evo chambers would help me confirm it'd be Hydras, but unfortunately, we don't have any. So I'm just going to assume the roaches are for defense, and we could still see anything. I'm not 100% sure. I'll get back to you on that tech when it does appear. The Protoss still just massing up very slowly. Does have a cannon down, which... important note, if you ever do this, just put a gateway right here and potentially another gateway right here, and then the Lings can't get to it except for like 1 right here, and this cannon can kill hundreds of Lings. So pro tip, and it is the Hydralisk Den. The Hydra Den is on the way, so we're going to be seeing a Roach Hydra composition from AoEFreak, which tends to be the go-to composition on Legacy of the Void. With the addition of those Ravengers, it's so good not to go for that Roach Hydra composition, especially whenever the opponent is building things like Adepts, because Adepts do not AoE at all, and you need that AoE to deal with the number of Roach Hydra that end up showing up on the field, and continuing to warp in more Dark Templar. I'm not sure what Bannor plans to do with these, but I wouldn't recommend having Dark Templar in your army composition. Let's go to a gateway so I can fact check my numbers. But yeah, Dark Templar cost 125 gas a piece, so they are not very cheap. 2 Dark Templar is 1 Immortal. And oh my gosh, alright, apparently we're going for a big Archon build from our Protoss player against this Roach Hydra composition with potential Infestors, or are we just going Hive? It looks like we're just going to go Hive for now. No Infestors on the way, and that Pathogen Gland's still not being researched. So I would imagine that was just for the Hive tech. And we don't have any upgrades for our Zerg player still. Still no Evo chambers from what I've seen. No Evo chambers are down. And also, don't do this. See this macro hatch? It could be right here. And the reason it could be right here is because you've been scouting forever. Like, you're still scouting. Like, if you just move this over here and solve this, he could be like, oh, okay, and then just build it here. Yeah, well, I mean, he's gonna expand, so that's good. But if you're gonna expand, don't build a macro hatch first. I don't know. Anyways, what I would recommend is getting upgrades, because AoEFreak still does not have any upgrades, and he's going to be going up a Protoss army that has +2 attack. Not quite the armor upgrade, but he does have +2 attack, which is a significant advantage over someone that does not have any upgrades at all. And AoEFreak going to start posturing to attack here, it would seem. And yes, he's going to start making his way across the map here. And will our Protoss player be able to defend it? The Ling's going to scout for that 3rd base. Does not see it, as it was put in a weird proxy location, but it is going to protect it for the time being. And will Bannor be able to defend this? Early Photon Overcharge on these pylons, though. So not quite going to be able to make it up that ramp. No, he does decide it's not worth it and does back off. Because he does see the amount of Archons that are there, but quite frankly, if he would just use his larva really quick and get to 200, he could probably crush this. I'm assuming he has the larva for it. 3... What is that, like 7? And he just used a ton there too. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like with the money he had, if he just would have maxed up to 200, but it doesn't matter as the engagement is going underway here. Will the Archons be able to clean this up? I really don't know if they're going to be able to. The roaches are doing a lot of damage. All the smaller units are dead. The only thing that are left are one adept, a stalker, some Archons, and an immortal. However, it is enough. A big swarm of Lings does come in to try to help clean it up, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And the Protoss is left with 86 supply. The Protoss' macro, not where it needs to be with the investment he put into all those Dark Templar that I'm still a little confused about. Even though the Archons did do quite a bit of damage, you can see their kills right now. We have a 21, 6, 14, and 9. I don't know. If the Zerg would have used all his larvae and get to 200, that would have been very scary for the Protoss player. But he did save it for now. We have an Ultra Cavern down, but we're also building a Spire. So I don't know if we're going for 2 tier 3 units or if we're just going to go for Mutalisk here. I'm going to find out. We have 3 Ultras on the way. Their tech is a little all over the place, but we do have the +1/+1 ranged upgrade coming, but we're teching towards Ultralisks. But we only have a handful of Roach. Look, I don't know what's happening at this point, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The Protoss player is going to go ahead and build that second forge now to try to get both upgrades going at the same time, but I feel like it's a little late as this is almost done. So I wonder if this is going to be used for armor and this will eventually be used for shields, or if he's just building things to get his money down, but it doesn't really matter. We now have a couple Ultralisks added into the mix of this Roach, Hydra, Zergling, what are these called again? Viper, Mutalisk army. It's quite interesting, and if he scouts here and sees that this isn't here again, he needs to go scout these locations as the Protoss is getting money from somewhere. But hold that thought. AoEFreak moving out once again to attack Bannor here, and Bannor not behind the wall, so this could do a lot of damage. I mean, the Archons are an artificial wall, but regardless, here we go. Will AoEFreak be able to bust the front line down? And this is not a position you want to be in. Not with Archons, no! Oh, and he starts pulling the Archons. Oh, but he doesn't chain pull, so it does get back with the army. And what I was saying is you don't want to be in this position when you have all those Archons, because you want all the Archons to attack. Maybe just the Stalkers, but he only has one of those. So the Ultras and Lings are up front now, and he does want to go in. Also, don't do this. Don't do circles, because you start taking damage. Oh, but another pull! It will go down. It does look like he's going to get this Archon potentially. Is he going to get it? He does get it, but he does take quite a few hits from that Archon damage. And that Archon damage is doing 47 damage to biological right now. And with only that +1 armor, it's doing almost the full brunt of that attack. And the Lings do go down here and do scout this base, so he is aware of it now. And his entire army is now being pulled to take care of this base. And the only way he's going to be able to save it is if he leaves this natural and gets over there right now. But I don't know if he thinks it's worth it. He does decide to move out, but that creep is going to see that he's moving out, which is fantastic. The Zerg needs to pull back right now. Don't worry about this base. Pull back, get into a position where you can surround this army, but I don't think he's going to. Bannor is out in the open. Go over here. Kill this. Kill this. If you kill that army, it's over. Oh no, he does decide to go for this 4th base location though, and it is going to go down, which is going to put Protoss in a really bad economical situation, as he probably is only mining off the natural at this point. Yeah, his natural has a fair bit of minerals left, but his main is pretty dry. I mean, we do have 3 patches, but those will be gone fairly soon. And now the Protoss is going to start making their way across the map, killing these creep tumors. And what I would do is I would have sent the Lings down here and then the rest of my army up here, but that's just me to get that crazy surround. But whatever, we'll see what AoEFreak does decide to do. Is it 131 supply compared to 200? And here we go. Here goes the giant engagement onto the Protoss army, who has significant upgrade lead. So we're going to see if these small amount of units are going to be able to pull it back, since they do have a crazy amount of upgrades. And so far, they're doing a fantastic job. The AoE of these Archons are really annihilating the Zerg force. And the Zerg down to 132 supply, but does have 23 Hydralisks on the way, and is going to have to stall as long as he can to stop this Protoss army. The Protoss are doing a lot of damage to the third base location, though, and it does look like he's going to be he is going to lose this hatchery. So he is going to take quite a bit of damage here, and I don't know if these Hydralisks, as they're building, are going to be able to kill this. Hydralisks are not great at killing Archons. I mean, the Immortals aren't going to do a great job versus the Hydras, but I'm more concerned about this massive Archon army with the +3 attack compared to the 1 army of the Hydras, and he does decide to back up for now. No, he is going to go ahead and start going for this base, and the Hydralisks do start engaging, but he needs to be careful. If those Archons turn around, these Hydras are going to melt very quickly, and Bannor is a bit scared of the Hydra army right now. I don't think he realizes the upgrade advantage he has, and here we go. He does decide to turn around and attack these Hydralisks, but unfortunately his army was in a weird position that when he A-moved, half of them are still worried about the buildings and drones instead of the army, which is going to get a couple of those Archons killed. And the Hydra army is still here. The Hydras are now chasing down the rest of these Archons, and I don't know why he's not engaging. Like, you see this? Look, this all could be damage, and it's all gonna die now. So it could have been damage, but instead now it's half damage, and it's all dead. If the enemy army is attacking you and you can't get away, engage, people. I don't know how many replays I've casted where I've said this at this point. Don't run while being attacked. Fucking attack. Commit. A-move. Because what you're going to do is more damage. He lost 4, maybe 5 Archons while he was running away from that Zerg player when he could have been turning around and doing damage. While the army didn't survive, nothing was coming to support it, right? So you could say, well, he was trying to keep them alive, right, for a later fight. Yes, but if you're going to back up into a corner and nothing's coming to save it, engage, people, engage, please commit. But anyways, Lings are going to make their way over here and try to do some probe damage, and it looks like they're going to get the job done as probes start dying left and right here. The army does finally move into engage, but not without a lot of probes already going down. However, those Zealots did work their way into a pretty good position there, and they're going to start wailing away at those Zerglings. And we do have this lonely Ultralisk. Oh, his friends did show up. And the 3 Ultras are going to start engaging on these Archons right now. And oh my gosh, look how fast stuff dies with that +3 attack on those Archons whenever you don't have that armor upgrade. Actually, we do. We have +2 plus the chitinous plating. So those Ultras are a little bit more durable now. The DT is going to start chasing this army back up to the north side of the map. But Bannor sitting on 33 supply to AoEFreak's 67. So AoEFreak still does have the advantage, but both players don't really have any money. Both players don't really have any money, as he hasn't rebuilt this hatchery, and he hasn't expanded either. So I would like to see the Zerg player take an expansion, and Protoss, quite frankly, needs to take another expansion as well. While it would be ridiculously hard to hold, this is not going to win you the game. So taking risks is what the Protoss player needs to be doing right now. With the Zerg having the lead that it does, if the Protoss doesn't take risks and get away with them, he's pretty much toast. And I'd say he's in that boat right now, while the Zerg slowly makes its way back into this game, even adding some lurkers in. And I don't know, let's check here, units tab. Oh, he doesn't have an observer, so these lurkers could do a significant amount of damage to our Protoss player Bannor. We're gonna have to see what happens here, and here we go. 1 Ultralisk and 3 lurkers making their way over here to do the damage that he thinks that they need to do. He's chasing down this probe. I'm not sure why the probe does die, but now he's probably gonna move into engage before these lurkers can get there. Oh, the lurkers do get there, and they need to burrow right now, and they do burrow, and there's nothing left to see them. So these burrowed lurkers are gonna start doing tons of damage to the third base location of our Protoss. There is nothing this Protoss can do right now except accept his fate. And production tab. Why am I on none? Production tab. Yes, the observer is on the way here, but he needs to pull these probes. All the probes are dying. Oh gosh. Meanwhile, Zerg is making their way back into this game by getting this, what is that, 5th base location going. The 4th is going. He's not mining gas, but then again, he doesn't need to, as he's sitting on quite a heavy bank. And finally, that observer does arrive, but isn't quite where it needs to be. There we go. The observer is making its way over here and does start seeing these lurkers, but he's going to throw away a lot of units to get him killed. The AoE is already going up on these units. The Dark Templar do go down. I think one's going to survive, so while it didn't do a ton of damage, it did the damage it needed to keep the Protoss as crippled as he is. The Zerg now starting to work and get that army back up. We have 2 Ultras and 7 Hydras on the way to start building up this army of AoEFreak once again. And Bannor gonna start moving his way up the map, but I don't think he's gonna like what he sees when he sees 2 Ultralisks now eating away at the army of his Protoss units, even pulling the probes. We have probes up here to try to help deal with this, but Bannor, I don't think you're as even in this game as you think you are, and the Ultras are gonna start eating away. The probes immediately die, and Bannor leaves the game with the GG. AoEFreak, congratulations, you won this ladder match. Pretty scrappy game overall, but at the end of the day, the player, AoEFreak, did what he needed to do to win this game. And as always, guys, if you liked my casting, please like, favorite, and subscribe. I know that's cliche as fuck, but you know what? It does help. And if you enjoyed my casting, please send your replays to DarkslayerReplays@gmail.com, as I am out. That's correct, I am out of replays. So please send your replays to DarkslayerReplays@gmail.com. That's in the description, DarkslayerReplays@gmail.com.